Hello guys, and welcome to this week's tutorial on ProRPA.com. Today we will be starting off with our very first automation bot, right? And all it's gonna do, it's actually a bot program, but what it's gonna do is it's gonna simply display a message called hello world, right? So usually, it's a little bit funny as well, but in any of the programming languages that you start off with, whether it's C++, Java, .NET, whatever, right? What you usually end up doing is you start off by testing the tool, whether it's working fine or not, whether the configuration that has been done by the developer on his or her local machine actually works fine or not, right? So on that front, if we want to test that configuration, right, like in Java, just for an example's sake, something that's coming on top of my head, is that in Java, once you install the software from the Oracle's website and stuff, right, then you actually go to your system properties, go to your environment variables, and add the path or update the path variable with the Java bin directory, right, the JDK bin directory. So if you want to have those steps, you can always check out my CRISPR Learning for Core Java book. That should be able to help on that front as well. I have listed down all the configurations there. So what we usually do is we, in automation anywhere as well, we would want to just simply print a message box by, by printing the message as hello world, right? And this is going to test the functionality whether my automation anywhere enterprise client is working fine or not, right? So usually what we do is when you open your automation anywhere enterprise client application on your local system, and you kind of connect it with the control room, the steps that we talked in previous blog posts, then this is the screen that is shown to you, and you click the new button to create a new bot, right? And now once you click new, it gives you several of these options. So these three help with are categorized under the recorder option, right? And what recorder does is just to give a high level overview. Recorder is one of those very, very sophisticated technologies in RPA applications. And all you do is you just kind of click on a button called record, and you just perform the operations within the automation task manually, just one time. And it kind of captures each and every step, each and every procedure, each and every sub-process that you follow, and kind of creates the bot for you. Now, the challenging part is that you still need to know about the functionalities about each and every task or each and every feature, functionality, capability within the automation anywhere. And the reason is because Recorder is going to create a very beautiful program, no doubt about it. It is something that can be leveraged and built on top of, but not everything can be done just by using the Recorder, right? Maybe for some very simple automations you might be able to, but to cater it specifically for your use case, you might want to, kind of modify it, kind of update it so that it works at majority of the times, right? So just for an example's sake, let's say you're working on a Word document and you're typing some stuff, blah, blah, blah. Now, the recorder might take the Word document with that specific name itself in the recording action, right? In the task that it creates, or in the RPA bot program that it creates automatically. Now, maybe your use case specifically caters for that MS Word document itself, and there is no other place where the texting or the typing needs to happen. But there's a possibility that that might not be the case, right? You might actually have to like any Word document that is open, or create a new document and then do it all together, and blah, blah, blah. Could be any number of use cases. So you have to kind of, update your document name or those properties so that your automation can actually happen legibly, reliably, and efficiently, right? So we'll talk about recorders more in subsequent blog posts, but now we'll be talking more about Workbench. So Workbench is a very common term in itself as well, where you have like, this is the Workbench, and it creates a new task for you. And this task is where we have like the list of tasks, list of commands that we're gonna put in this canvas area to automate our process, right? I'm gonna close this because I already have the Hello World program. But to show you how it worked, we just find the specific command from the command list here, which is message box. We just drag and drop it here, and once you drag and drop it, you will see the properties option for that. Just to show you, this is the properties of the message box. So what exactly is the message that you want to enter, right? I'm going to close this because I already have a hello world, but I can get to the properties again by clicking on this edit button, and here it is. All I'm doing is just printing a message called hello world, right? Make sense? And if you want to close the message box after a few seconds, it could be any seconds, right? Then you can, let's say 5 seconds, 20 seconds, 10 seconds, whatever, right? Let's make it 9 seconds and saving it. So now all you gotta do is every time, and this is like a very, very basic, major rather, like contingency within any Automation Anywhere program, RPA bot program, is you have to save it first to be able to run it. So I saved it by clicking on the save button from this command toolbar, and then I just simply run it, and you'll see it's going to display the message, and after 9 seconds, you see there's a countdown also going on here. This timer after 3 seconds is going to close the specific window. Closed, and our execution actually was completed successfully. Does that make sense? Okay, so I briefly touched upon a few things, right? This is the action list as it's written here, which is going to have all the actions that we're going to have within our program: insert, Excel specific, tasks and all that stuff, which we're going to cover as we progress in our learning tutorials. And this left-hand side area, it has commands. So we call it the command list or command panel, or I wouldn't call it command toolbar or toolbox, but it's like the area where we have all the commands that we'll be using for automation, right? I also briefly want to touch upon variable manager, which is like all the variables that we will be using in our program. We're going to touch upon variables, I believe, in the next tutorial itself. But yeah, I mean, that's how we do it, right? We can also kind of visualize and analyze and all that stuff, some of our variables. So an analyze is used when we have like analytics variables, which is also like one type of variable supported in Automation Anywhere, and it kind of is in sync with the bot insights. If you remember, in our first blog post, we talked about different modules, different capabilities that Automation Anywhere provides. So that analysis is very, very insightful for the bot insights, right? Yeah, other than that, what I would ask from you guys is to kind of play around with, these commands and see, at least at a high level, if you can get some basic information on each of these commands that come really, really handy when you'll be doing some real-time project. So go for it. Learn more of it. If not, that's fine, because in our subsequent blog post, we will be covering all these things, right? All right. This is it for this week. We have created our first Hello World. That's a good progress. And we will be now, building on top of things. We'll be using some of our logics, some of our calculations, some arithmetic ones, some logical ones. We'll also probably do some comparison between regular expressions and so on. And then we will also be doing some application-specific automations, whether it's SAP, whether it's email automation for Outlook. I mean, yeah, the possibilities are endless here. So that is it for this week, guys. Please do keep us posted on your comments, your feedback, and please do subscribe to the blog, which is prorpa.com, to stay posted on any of the blog posts that we put up, which happens on a weekly basis, of course. Please also do put your likes and comments on the Facebook page and the YouTube channel that we have where you're watching this video. And happy automating. Goodbye. Thanks.